Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a backend Python developer. This is their second version of the resume, or maybe third, and we don't know their new ratio. They are an international student with an F1 visa applying for new grad roles, and this is the improvement. So I did review this real quick, and it was pretty solid. There was like one or two issues that I found, but what we're looking for in a Python dev are Python, SQL, Docker, Cloud, its words, RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and then one of these, so like full stack with, or AI with NumPy, ML, or DevOps, or fast APIs, Flask, and Django. And it was a meet. There's only one or two things that I had a little bit of an issue with, quite frankly, but they weren't major, although this person is an F1 student visa, so it's going to be extra hard. Unfortunately, if you are on a visa, you need to try about 3 times as hard to get a job. If somebody who's a citizen applies to 10 jobs to get an interview, you will need to apply to 30, and I wish that wasn't the case, but unfortunately it is. So, what did I find in this? Well, a lot, actually. This, I think, should be one line. This should be in bullet points, but this is not a big deal. Formatting is mostly perfect. The one thing I don't know is if they tell us how to work with their visa, but engineered a real-time Salesforce workflow in Python, good. With fast API, good. On AWS/EC2, EC2, good. Using MongoDB, which could be one. I don't really super count that, but it could be sometimes. To serve AI-driven blah, blah, blah. This is fine. This is good. Then built RESTful APIs in Python. Normally, I'm not a fan of repeating the same one, but it's fine in this case. Reducing latency across SQL, good. Customer retention, ROI for partner brands, I'm understanding this. CI/CD for Git, Docker, AWS. You already stated AWS here, so you don't necessarily need to say it again, but it's not a huge deal if you repeat it. So then we go down to here, which has, again, mostly what I want. Yeah, this one's solid. I don't think there's anything I'm really missing. I found basically everything in the first line. So, yeah, I mean, this is good. Like, this is why the first half of the first page of your resume matters, is I don't always need to go past this. And in this case, this succeeds. This would meet. As you are on an international visa, you will need to try harder, unfortunately. So you may get more rejections than normal, but that has nothing to do with necessarily the resume. It does have to do with they're just not going to be able to sponsor your visa. In addition, you want to apply early. The faster you apply, the better your chances based on how ATSs sort people. But overall, this is a pretty quick review because this is a solid resume. This is how I want to see it written. I think the only thing that I would like is maybe some Django and Flask in the first one, because you already mentioned fast APIs, but I don't see really like Django or Flask, and that would be pretty useful. And do we have Docker? Did I see Docker? That is, yeah, there, Docker. Yeah, so otherwise, good. Solid review. Not solid review. Congratulating myself. Solid resume. Good job. I like it. It passes. So before we go to the next one, if anybody else needs more help, they can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. That is where I help people out. That is where I get these qualifications, and they are qualifications, not keywords, and answer any other questions that you may have. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a project coordinator. This is their third time, and we don't know their ratio with the new version because they have not yet sent it out. So let's see what we can do with this resume and see if it meets the 20-second meter yeet test real quick. So what we're going to need is multitasking, organizational skills, industry. Industry is big, but I cannot put every single industry. This goes for multiple different ones. My goal is to teach you all how to find these, because once you are able to know how to do this, you should be more accurate than me. mainly because I cannot be in every single industry. And while a, say, project coordinator in healthcare versus software engineer life skills or software development is going to have mostly the same qualifications, there may be a couple that I miss or I think are irrelevant. So that is why I want you to be able to do it yourself so that you can learn how to do it, which I also show in my guide, because you should be more accurate than me. So, Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Smartsheets, Jira, Confluence, Excel, MS Project, Outlook, proactive problem solving. That is one of the big ones, proactive problem solving. Client, customer, stakeholder interaction, just any of them, and bonus for any of those things I mentioned, but I don't think they're going to be on this one, which is okay. So, go. All right, engineering management. We're going to schedule international collaboration to provide zero funding, adding expertise, global data, for public, partner with project research and compliant Confluence system. Okay, this is okay. MS Word and PowerPoint. Design grant and to team members, name a project lead to exclusively oversight. Collaborates, small and medium-sized material model showcase. I think this is okay, but I think it could be better. I think this will get you some interviews, but I feel like I'm missing some stuff. I do think I'm missing some stuff. So, first, again, I don't know if you need to keep this. Second off, I don't know if this really shows off what you do. And this person is in chat, so I can help them with this afterwards. But I don't know if this really shows it off. So, like, secured international medical collaborations is okay. But remember, the goal is not securing medical applications. The goal is organizational skills. So, despite zero funding, adding expertise in clinical data, I don't know if this is really what they're going to be looking for, unless this is an industry. If this is industry specific, they are going to want that. Then partner with project researchers and analysts. Good. Implement an HIPAA, again, a Confluence system, optimizing data support, reducing client risk. And again, I think the problem with this, and I don't think this is a terrible resume, I just think it could be better, is you're thinking like an individual contributor. And I think that is my biggest issue with this, is you are thinking like an individual contributor. And the reason I say that is because when you get into management and project coordinator, even though project manager is not necessarily always an IC role, what they're typically looking for is how you use the resources you had, including humans, to get the project to completion. And what this reads with is kind of like you did it yourself, but that's not necessarily the goal. Your goal isn't to get in there and then roll up your sleeves and dig into it yourself. It's to get others to go along with the plan, to make it smooth enough so that others don't get delayed. You really have to have a other-centric focus for some of these resumes. And I think you did it here, right? Cross-collaborated between IT and engineering departments. Good. It shows you can work cross-functionally. To deliver a forecasting system from all simplified enterprise. This tells me what you did. Eradicating costly infrastructure, which is good, and resulting in a model, meaning the project was completed. Deployed prototype model 6 weeks ahead of schedule. Good, because this is what matters, is the schedule, not that you did it, that you're ahead of the schedule. And how did you do it with MS Excel? Great. A team analyzed data set. See, I honestly think you should probably delete this. I know, I understand this is work, like stuff you've done, and you have been there for 3 months, but there's just not enough that really shows as good as this. Like, this is okay. Delegated grant and future proposals to preparation to team members. Good. Enabling project lead to consecrate. So the problem is, I don't know why concentrating is important. So the first part, you had me in the first part. You kind of lost me in the second part. So why is concentrating important? Why is it important that you had they did oversight? I don't know. This is great because this also shows. My problem is sort of these two, which again, I kind of sort of skipped over because there was a lot here. So that's my big problem, and we can work in it in chat. It's really that your first two sentences are not really what I'd be looking for. Most of what I'm looking for is down here, and while this is solid, this is kind of mid. And you really can't only have like 1.5 bullet points out of 4 if they were mid, because you're thinking more like an IC and not a project coordinator or manager. So let's go to the next resume, but I'm going to help them in chat. So this is a resume of a Gen AI developer. So this person said Gen AI, and the problem with this is Gen AI can be a lot of different stuff. It could be an ML engineer, it could be an AI engineer, it could be an ML AI engineer, it could be a bunch of different things. So I'm not sure these qualifications are exactly what you're looking for. The ones I put were for an ML engineer. And again, this may be slightly incorrect because, AI engineer is going to be different than an ML engineer. And I'm not sure which one you want. So if these are wrong and you notice them to be wrong, let me know and I will try to find you better ones. But yeah, if you could just be a little more specific when giving me some roles and notes, it will help me help you. Because again, I have to look this stuff up. I do not have it like knowledge of all of this immediately in my head. I just know how to find it. So what we're looking for, if this is an ML engineer, is degree, machine learning, ML, models, LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, Cloud, SQL, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, RAG, customer-facing stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert, and a bonus of CAD, FEA, Git, CI/CD, finite element analysis, and API. Those bonuses, again, people are probably confused as why I put CAD. There are some companies that require it. It is a bonus because it is very rare, but if you put that on your resume and you apply to one of those very rare companies that need that, such as like John Deere or Caterpillar, you will probably immediately get an interview. So, can I find this in 20 seconds with a headache? I don't know, probably. Let's look. All right, so I can't use anything here. Cross-functional is nice. Nothing else, nothing else. AI, good. Fast API, not sure I really care about as much. JSON logs, Kanban, API, AI, PySpark, RAG, 3 or 4. Yeah, this is a definite no. I found practically nothing I needed. So remember, I cannot use anything that's in the summary unless you tell me why you're relocating. I cannot use anything in the skills section. This is wasted space. This is what I would need, right? Like I would actually need a bunch of the stuff here, but I need it to be written into here. So primarily because you put all this stuff in the skills section, I can't move you forward. I also can't scroll up because the way you blocked your information is probably readable. So please double check to make sure your emails cannot be seen because I don't want you to get spammed by that. But yeah, like cross-functional is nice, but where's the Python? Where's the R or the C or the cloud or the LLMs or anything involving, in fact, anything involving AI? Nothing here has AI. Now, is it awesome that you are at NASA Space Apps Challenge? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not relevant. I'm looking for AI. I'm not looking for NASA. So, is it cool that you did the logistics? This could be okay as a bonus because it shows you can at least work with people and stakeholders and clients and talk to people, but I don't have any AI. So then we go down to here, the first time I see AI in your resume that I can use, and the only thing I can use here is AI. That's it. Where's Python? Where are any of the models? Where you say full stack, cool, what full stack? Can't use this. Again, can't use it. Sorry. I wish I could. It'd be a lot easier if I could use this stuff. It has to be here. This is the only thing I can use. If it's anywhere else, your qualifications just don't count. Again, like your education can be there too, but I cannot use these skills unless they are, in that thing. Your education is at the bottom when it should be up at the top. And then here, I see PySpark, which is good, RAG, which is good, LLM, which is good, and that's like it. Maybe Crew AI was also good. So this is my huge problem with this resume is you put everything I needed in places I cannot physically use them. I can't. If you put it in a skills section, it just doesn't count. If you put it here off to the side, it doesn't count. The reason is you need to show me how you used it and the reason and or result you used it. And you cannot do that through a skills section, a summary, or this, because you also have to show where. So your big problem is this resume has almost nothing on it I can actually use to move people forward. So this is why you're getting rejected. Assuming this is the right type of ML engineer. It's possible that I got the wrong type of AI engineer. That is entirely probable. But if you are looking for like AI ML roles, this is the stuff I need, and it needs to be here. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software developer. So what we're looking for in a full stack is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and one of these, .NET, Python, or Java. You don't need all three of them, just one of them. And bonus points for other languages, architecture, Git, and DevOps. So, let's see. Can I find this in 20 seconds? Let's find out. I may give it a couple more because I'm getting a little bit of a migraine. So, again, I suffer from those pretty badly. But if your resume can get past a tired recruiter who is super sleepy and has a migraine, then it's a good resume. So, all right, can't use anything here. This is fine. Masters is good. Python, Jenkins, or CI/CD, good. Nothing. SQL, good. API, good. Flask, RESTful APIs, that's actually, again, good. Python and SQL, we already found those, but it's good to have them in multiple places. And I saw Git out of the corner of my eye. Is that enough to move you forward? Let's see. Probably not. No. If this is full stack, this would not be enough to move you forward. Weirdly enough, this might be enough to almost move you forward if it was Python, but then you're still kind of missing some of the other stuff. So this is just does not have enough information for full stack, because remember, I also need JavaScript, I need HTML, and I need CSS. Typically, if you have Python, you may be able to not have TypeScript. It's kind of one or the other, but it's still good to have it. So I'm not going to count that you didn't have TypeScript, but I don't see JavaScript. Again, nothing here counts. In fact, JavaScript, nope, that's the only place it is. CSS, also the only place it is. HTML, only place it is. Node, I think no Node. React. Okay, React's all the way down there, but they may not see it. Agile, again, also may not see it. CI/CD, I did see that was good, and I did see Python. Did I see cross-functional? So this would be a yeet, but it's a barely yeet. Like, my guess, if this person is not an international, which they may be, because again, that kind of messes up the whole ratio, is this probably would be like a 75 to 100 to 1 ratio. That would be my guess. Because you have some of the stuff I need. The problem is it's buried all the way down here, and some of the other stuff I do need is up here. So you barely meet 75%, but it's scattered so much they probably won't see it. So is there anything else after here? No. Yeah, it's mainly just we need to delete this and basically just put the JavaScript, the SQL, the HTML, not SQL, HTML down here. And then we need some of the cloud stuff, because I don't see any cloud. AWS, again, is all the way at the bottom, this is a little bit of an issue, is, again, if it's all the way down here, they're probably not going to see it. So we need to shrink this, add more relevant qualifications, make these sentences slightly better, and then we can have a resume. I don't think this is a delete it all and start again. I think there's some good stuff here. But, again, I think this is a 75 to 100 to 1 ratio. Not counting any immigration issues, because that will always blow that up. So this person's in chat, so I'm going to help them out right now. But for everybody else, let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a artificial intelligence / machine learning engineer. So we're going to just say machine learning engineer, because sometimes some of the other AI roles don't necessarily want the same thing. And this person applying for mid-level or new graduate positions, but they're not getting any calls. They completed an internship, and others which are all related to AI and ML. All right, so let's see what we can do to fix this. Although as they are an international, their ratio is going to be skewed. Again, it's going to be about 3 times as long as 3 times as much for an international. Like if a U.S. citizen or green card holder applied to 50 jobs and they got 2 interviews, it may be 75 jobs before getting a single interview. It's not saying we can't, because the data analyst we fixed, but your rate, you are going to have to try, unfortunately, about 3 times harder. So what do we want for machine learning engineer? Degree, machine learning, ML, models, LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, Cloud, SQL, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SkibbityLearn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, RAG, customer-facing stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert, and bonus for all those other stuff. So, oh boy, can we find this? Let's begin in 20 seconds. Python, good. AWS, NLP, good. AI, good. I don't care about this part. Design a Streamlit, Fast API could be good. CI/CD is good. Actually, this is not as impactful. I'll give you a couple of other seconds. LLM is good. Python, NumPy, Pandas, SkibbityLearn, great. Reducing API calls, I don't care about for Pandas and SkibbityLearn. That actually, am I missing anything? I'm missing one thing, and people are going to be upset about it. Yeah. So what I am missing is the machine learning. That's what I'm missing. I understand this probably is machine learning, but they may not know that. So I'm actually missing the things that say ML specifically. Now, there are AI engineers that are semi-similar, and this is a little bit of a difference between qualifications. So this machine learning, this AI engineer. Slight differences between the two. In this case, the CI/CD is important, but I'm missing like R or NumPy or RAG or LangChain and explaining stuff to non-technical people. So is this resume bad? I don't think it is. I don't want to say, oh, this is a garbage resume. It's not a bad resume. The problem is it is kind of split between 2 different roles, and I don't quite have enough of each of those roles to move you forward. So again, the NumPy, the Pandas, the SkibbityLearn, great. I don't think I saw RAG. I didn't see LangChain, which again is okay because you have the SkibbityLearn. But the big thing missing from the AI engineer, right? The AI engineer is explaining complex topics to non-tech people. I don't see that, and that is almost critical. But if we go back to the machine learning, I don't see any machine learning. And I also don't see customer facing and stakeholders. So regardless of which path you choose, you need something that shows how you can talk to other people. When you take these highly technical jobs, most of your day is not going to be doing the crazy coding stuff. I'd say probably about 20 to 30% of it is going to be talking to people that don't know. They may hire you and not know what AI is, and you have to explain to them that AI cannot wash their car. That what AI is what an AI hallucination is, when it is used, when you can use AI and when you can't, how you could implement AI, how much it costs based on token use. Could you use AI to create like agentic bots or anything? That is going to be part of your job, and that is something I am missing pretty clearly from this. So definitely need that, because you put stuff like, reducing manual hours by 30 or reducing APA calls and faster tracking, but none of the roles are asking for that. They're not. They're looking primarily for other stuff, So, like, look, 15% accuracy improvement for iteration. We're not looking for that. We are looking for other stuff. We want to see you talk to customers. We want to see the word machine learning. We want to know if the CEO of the company goes to you and says, hey, no job guy, We are about to unleash a new AI project. What it's going to do is create a scan of a human body and fill it completely with pudding, and using that pudding we are going to transfer it into a human so that a human could be a pudding monster. And you're going to have to tell them that AI in its current form cannot create pudding monsters for you. So regardless of which way you go, you are missing the talking to other people part, and it is a huge part. So let's go to, actually, that is the last resume of this episode. Thank you all for watching. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST to whenever. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm here to get you ahead of your job search.